Yeah.
All right, shalom, shalom. We're going to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Chakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles of GMS to give us his truth and all his purity. And salutations to all the honors in his word. And we out here, the brothers of GMS New York. And, you know, as usual, as always, we always going into prophecies, you know, which we're living in. And now, you know, you have Trump, you know, he's having things move quick in the spirit, man. With all these different executive orders, legislations that he's passing, is bringing down the society to its knees, you know? They just, they've been talking about empty shelves due to the tariffs. You got Walmart, Home Depot, Target, and a few other companies basically telling Trump that they're gonna have empty shelves starting this month, you know? And a report came out saying that in June, there's gonna be a recession. So it's looking like this summer might be it, man.
Yeah.
Trump just passed executive order for martial law to deploy the military and the National Guard to provide assistance, so-called, to local police force, you know, and taking down criminals and so-called protecting innocent citizens. So he already sees what's coming down the pipe, which is what insurrections, protests, you know, all hell breaking loose.
Just to add on to protests, you know, especially there's an uproar right now in Guyana with the 11-year-old girl. They burning down the hotels. They basically going crazy because basically they're trying to say it was a religious sacrifice. They end up finding the 11-year-old girl, a Guyanese girl, dead in the pool. But basically, like she went missing at first, and they was trying to look for her, and they couldn't find her. And you had people surrounding the hotel, like trying to look for the girl. But then in the morning, they end up finding her like dead in the pool. So it was an uproar of the people. They're going crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're saying she was sacrificed so they can the people can make more money, like the hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like right now, it's an uproar right now going crazy in Guyana over that situation. You know what I'm saying?
That goes into the uproars, race wars.
Yeah.
So that's basically Benjamin, and then they going up and they dealing with Ishmael. You know? So that's Slako Elam.
Yeah.
So it's basically a race war, man. And going into what he said, that's just going into the curses beyond it. You know, so it don't matter where you go, you're not gonna escape those curses.
And you got millions of people protesting Donald Trump all over America, man. So hey, man, that's how you know we're at the end. Yeah. The Lord told us to watch out for the uproars of the people.
It was Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt.
Yeah, that's right. That cloud is going into the chariots, man. Yeah. The fathership that Yahushua is returning upon. And last week, Esau basically caught a planetary-sized chariot that passed by the sun, man. So big that it blocked out majority of the sun, man. They got it on, you know, Esau got these different satellites in space, you know, that monitor the sun. So they showed it from like 2 different satellites that Esau got. Planetary-sized chariot going around the sun, you know what I mean, shooting off, man. You know? So those are the angels, man. So if the angels could have ships that big, how much bigger is Yahushua's chariot, man? Yeah. That's why the scriptures say every eye is gonna see Yahushua. From the northern and southern hemisphere, from the east to the west, man. All eyes gonna see him at the same time. It shows you how gigantic he will be in the sky.
Yeah. You know, in Ezra's, you know, when you read 2nd Ezra 13 chapter, he said, you know, when you seen the look in the sky, he compared it as a great mountain.
Yeah.
When you seen a return of the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Going into how backing you up, how gigantic the Lord's chariot is going to be when he returns. You know? It says, I'm going to read it again. It's Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt.
Yeah, which Egypt, we know, is America. According to Revelation 11 and 8. America is spiritual Egypt. So Yahushua is coming here to America, man. This will be the place where the deliverance will take place. And you know, Yahushua is going to send his angels all over the earth. But the main deliverance is going to take place here in Babylon the Great.
Yep. It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence.
The actual idols, the different false gods that they worship, the statues, you know, the celebrities, the people that they look up to, they're going to be moved at Yahushua's presence.
Yeah.
Because when Yahushua return, his aura alone is going to shake the heavens and the earth, man.
Yeah, his presence.
Yep.
Because Yahushua, he's not coming, you know, as a regular man.
Yeah.
Again, he's coming in an angelic form. You know, his presence is going to be felt. That's why the scriptures speak about how every knee shall bow. Because they're going to be amazed at when Yahushua cracks the clouds and returns. Because a lot of people, they doubted. They didn't have faith. They didn't believe that they could ever see that. You know, an angelic force cracking the clouds, you know, coming to redeem the elect.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right. Yep.
It says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
That's right. So the idols of Egypt shall be moved, and they're gonna the heart of Egypt is gonna melt in the midst of it. You know, which is going into what? The heart of the people. You know, it's gonna be a spooky, scary thing, man. To look up to see a ship bigger than the sun in the sky, covering up the whole earth with millions and millions and millions and millions of other ships surrounding them, man.
Yeah.
You know, their hearts are gonna melt. Go ahead.
And to prove that too, remember a few years back when the guy, he was looking in the satellite out of space, and he said basically he's seen something that was like 4 or 5 times, 10 times, you know, bigger than the earth, coming towards the earth fastly, rapidly, showing you that, you know, the Lord's chariot is going to be way greater, way bigger than, you know, that's why Ezra's compared it as a great mountain, you know, and a lot of people are going to what you're saying, they're going to be scared, you know what I'm saying? It says, verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
That's right. So the Egyptians is going into what? These people. Starting with Esau, the so-called white man. They're divided among themselves. The left versus the right. You know, the Democrats versus the Republicans. You know, right now they got beef with one another. And, you know, you got the Democrats, you know, they're against what Trump is doing. Which, you know, it's all, you know, Esau control both sides. But, you know, they're against what Trump is doing. And pretty much, they're ready to take him out of power, man. Because everything that he's doing is against the Constitution, against the laws. He's breaking different laws. He's doing things that no president has ever done before. Firing judges and people that didn't disagree with him, you know? So that's going to cause what? It's going to cause political wars. You're going to have political wars. You're going to have class wars. You're going to have race wars. The Lord is dividing this race, man. Yahushua said, I am not come to send peace, but rather division. Go ahead.
It says, I'm going to read it one more time. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Yeah, but you got Edomite nations fighting one another. You got NATO fighting against Russia. America versus NATO. You know, America versus Russia. Those are all Edomites. You know?
It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof.
Yeah, the spirit of Egypt is failing, man. You know, the people are languishing. You've seen everybody coming online, they're going on TikTok and these social media platforms, and they're complaining about the state of America, what Trump is doing to the economy, how they're losing their jobs. You got women coming online crying, no, I lose my job, you know? And, you know, they're going into how the tariffs and these empty ports is going to lead to over 2 million job losses, man. You know, due to truckers not being able to get loads, you know, different stores shutting down, you know, meaning what? More job losses. If you work at a store, it closed down, you don't got no job. You know, so, you know, Trump is destroying the economy. So Egypt's spirit is failing, and the council is failing. You know, they don't know what to do. The Lord said he would destroy the wisdom of Teman. You know, they don't know how to fix it. You know, they're coming up with different, you know, theories. You know, they got to deal with Iran and America, the nuclear deal. Now it's put on pause indefinitely. Now they're getting ready to go to blows. You know what happened to that? You You know, the Lord said he not coming to bring peace, man.
Yeah.
There is no peace to the wicked, man.
Yeah.
You know, so no matter what Esau trying to do to save this place, it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Trump trying to bring back manufacturing jobs to America, that's not gonna work, man. America is done.
Yeah.
You know, it would take decades for manufacturing to come back to America, man.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no healing this place.
Yeah. It says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
Yeah, that's right. So it's happening now among these different elites. They're going to their gods, doing these different sacrifices.
Yeah.
You know, doing all their witchcrafts. You know, to try to save Babylon from falling, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you're also gonna have people in that time straight up turn into witchcraft. You know, because they're gonna see that the church doesn't work. Calling on Jesus Christ doesn't work. Calling on Allah doesn't work. So they're gonna revert to calling on, you know, going into straight up Satan worship, man.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna try to seek an escape, seek an answer on how to get away from this, man.
Yeah.
Because there's not gonna be any answer from Yahweh Shemel Shah. It's gonna be a famine of the word.
Yeah.
So once they can't hear the word, you know, they're gonna resort to the left hand, man.
Yeah.
Just like with Saul. When the Most High departed, took his spirit, what did he do? He went and went to the witch, man.
Yeah.
The witch of Endor. You know, to try to bring up Samuel's spirit to give him counsel. So you're gonna have people actually doing that, man. Once they see that the Most High is not, you know, because right now the spirit of the Most High is out here through the prophets.
Yeah.
You know, through the videos. You know, but once the Lord withdraws that, and you're in the midst of what the prophets were telling you about, you're gonna seek an answer, but you're not gonna find it, man.
Yep. It says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord.
Yeah, that's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
The Lord is giving you over into the hand of a cruel Lord, man.
Yeah.
And now he's doing with you as he pleases, man. Nobody's stopping him. You know? That's how you know that it's all controlled, man. The whole government. Everything he's doing, Congress is supposed to be able to stop it.
Yeah.
Right? According to checks and balances and, you know, this is how you keep, authoritarian government, checks and balances with Congress and all that. But guess what? They're not stopping him. And even when, you know, the judges and Congress tell him he can't do certain things, he still does it, man. You know? That's that cruel Lord, man.
Yeah.
He's bringing famine. He's bringing the destruction of the economy, the destruction of jobs. You know?
Yeah.
He's bringing World War III. He just threatened Iran again, man. He said, yo, any attacks from the Houthis is basically an attack from Iran. And the Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, he backed it up, man. He said, we know what you're doing, Iran, and you will pay, you know, at the time and place of our choosing. Pretty much, the deals is over, man.
Yeah.
All the peace talk they was having, the meetings, that shit is done, man. We're getting ready for World War III. So
Yeah.
Donald Trump is that cruel Lord, man. Because that's going to result in the deaths of millions of Americans. You got something about that?
It's Isaiah 30, start at 1. It says, woe to rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
That's right. So the rebellious children, which is 2/3 of our people, they take counsel, but not of the Most High. They go to their religious leaders, the pastors, the Farrakhan's, you know, the celebrities they follow. They take counsel of them. They take counsel of the government, the different democratic leaders that they trust in. They trust in them into this political system, man. That they may add sin to sin. You know, they don't want to repent, man. They want this society to keep flourishing, man. You know? That's why these churches preach a prosperity gospel. Even though we see everything that's coming down the pipe, you still got a pastor telling you, you're going to get the job you want. Or you lost your job, you're going to get the job you want. No, man, this shit is over with. This economy is shot, man. They take counsel, but not of the Most High, that they may add sentences. Go ahead.
That woke to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth.
That's right. So they're not asking of the mouth of the Most High. The mouth of the Most High is these words, man. Really, the prophets. Because, you know, our people, they got Bibles, but they still don't know what's going on. They still don't know these prophecies, man.
Yeah.
So they don't come to inquire of us, even though starting with our apostles and their elders, They've been bringing this out for decades, man.
Yeah.
And now we literally live in it, man.
Yeah.
It's all around you. You can't deny it, man. But guess what? They still not coming to ask counsel of us, man. Coming to ask, yo, what should we do? You know, how do I repent? How do I get right?
Yeah.
You know, because they still think that this place is gonna bounce back. Their mindset is, we just gotta survive Trump, and then after that, we gonna bounce. That's their mindset, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And they put trust into these pastors, man, and to these so-called quote-unquote scholars. They don't believe what that we are the prophets of the Abba Shemel Shai. They don't believe that we have the true wisdom of the Lord. They believe that these scholars, the West Huffs, the people who are got their degree in theology, they believe that they have the true understanding of the scriptures. And that's why a lot of our people going to perish with them, man, because the Lord is dealing with his prophets, and the prophets come from the nation of Israel. All right, which consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It ain't gonna be. There's no such thing as an Edomite prophet, man. There's no such thing as a Ishmael or Elamite prophet. Yeah, you might have prophets that look, Israelite foreigners who may look like those nations, but they go back to Israel, man. You know.
Even Trump. You know, when Trump came in term, we had Jake voting for Trump.
Yeah.
You know, Trump went over there to Israel and so-called switched over his religion or his beliefs. Okay, and Jake believing this devil. That's why now he's showing his true colors.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. It says that woke to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Yeah, this Trevor Pharaoh, the Donald Trump, the government. You know, you trust in the system, man. You got Jakes that voted for Trump, like you said, Latinos for Trump, and they're getting deported now. You know, and then you've seen a lot of Jakes, a lot of even Edomites, coming out talking about this is not what I voted for. You know, I regret voting for Trump. Because they lost their jobs, the government jobs they had. Trump shut that down. Trump cut off their benefits.
Yeah.
The tariffs is destroying their businesses.
Yeah.
So now they went and voted for him, man.
Yeah.
So they trusted the strength of Pharaoh, man.
Yeah.
But what, they're going to be confounded.
It says, last verse, it says, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
That's right. The strength of Pharaoh is going to be a shame, man. And your confusion. Why? Because trusting in Pharaoh, depending on this man, is going to result to your destruction, man. It's going to lead you into taking the mark of the beast.
That's right.
Because Trump is bringing this mark, man. He's the one that through the spirit, you can see that he's the one that the Most High is choosing to bring about the end of this kingdom, man. So you're going to be ashamed, man.
Yeah.
You're going to trust in Pharaoh. You're going with that shadow of Egypt. Shadow, what's a shadow? A shadow covers you, protects you from the sun's heat. When the heat that's coming is Jacob's trouble.
Yeah.
So Esau, he gonna come out with a way out. Or you wanna eat? Listen, we can give you rations, but you gotta take this. Or you wanna be safe from the terrorists? You wanna be safe from the Russians and the Chinese that's invading America? Come to our 15-minute cities. We got military protecting it. You'll be in a safe haven.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a shame.
That's the spirit how you say that, because even when you go into the history. Because Esau always used deceptive ways to deceive the people or to overcome them, just like with the Gad. Because he was bringing it out early in the main camp. That's exactly what he did when he went to these territories. Like, look, we'll let you dwell over here. You know what I'm saying? We got this, that. We provide you with this. We provide you with that. And then what they do, they end up breaking those treaties and just end up wiping them out. It's the same situation, like how you bringing it up. Like they gonna tell you, yeah, coming to these 15-minute cities, we got medical centers, we got supermarkets, we got this and that, we got police protection, all for you to take the chip, all for you to take the RFID chip. Because once you go there, everything's gonna be smooth, calm. You know how Esau does, so-called white men do. He gonna let you get comfortable, and then he gonna just throw the hammer on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to take this chip. If you don't, we gonna kill you. Or we gonna throw you. See that concentration camp right there? Out the city? 20 miles away from the city? That's where your ass gonna be at. You know?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, Trump already signed executive orders to deport criminals, so-called criminals in America, U.S. citizens, to Libya, Afghanistan, and they're making deals with other countries to ship them off to those prisons.
Revelation 13 and 11. And I I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yeah, he had two horns like a lamb. You know, that's Esau's political system.
Yep.
You know, the Republicans and the Democrats, you know, that's the two horns, the two political powers, you know. But he spake as a dragon, because both of them are working towards the same goal. You know, they're all buddies, man. Trump, Hillary, Biden, Barack Obama, they're all friends, man. They all be drinking baby blood together, popping up androchrome pills, getting drugged up, you know? They be doing orgies together. They're all friends, man. But to the public, they make it seem like they got beef. You know, it's all a show, man. It's all a reality show, man. And the elites behind the scenes, they're laughing at you. So he speak as a dragon. These draconian laws, man, that he's passing, all those executive orders. Why ain't the Democrat fighting Trump? You know, why ain't they taking them down? Because they're all working hand in hand, man. When it comes to certain topics, what they call it, bilateral or something like that, where both parties agree on it, such as what's happening with the tariffs in China, both parties agree on it. You know, what's happening with Iran, both parties agree on it. You know, so they speak as a dragon. They're all gonna lead you into this totalitarian government system. Back in Isaiah 19?
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts.
That's right, the fierce king, Donald Trump. He already declared himself. He be calling himself king. He said, I am the king. You know? He be bragging about that, man. You know? King Trump, man. Nero the emperor, man. And this man is planning on having that's how you know he's Nero. He's planning on having a military parade at Washington on his birthday, man. No president ever done that. So it's wasting, you know, millions of dollars to celebrate your birthday. That's how you know he's Nero, man. He's narcissistic, man. Go ahead, finish it. We'll read down to I think 15.
Yep. So it says, verse 5, and the waters shall fail from the sea.
Okay. Well, matter of fact, get that real quick. Get that real quick.
I'll start at 7. Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hands that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunk of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
That's right. So Babylon has been a golden cup. You know, something that's delightsome, something that's, you know, it's beautiful to look upon. You know, the golden city, man. Everybody want to come to America. You know, you got a lot of people that give their testimonies about how they thought America was. They thought the streets was paved in gold. Until they came here, they realized it's really not what it is, man. You know, you got to work, you got to pay bills. It's pretty much slavery, man.
Land of milk and honey, land of opportunity.
The land of opportunity, freedom.
Land free.
A lot of bullshit.
Smoking marriage.
Yeah, a lot of jakes come here, and after they retire, they go back to their countries, man. Like a lot of jakes from Haiti, they come here, when they finish, they go back to Haiti, man. You know, because their retirement money won't stretch longer in their countries, man.
Build a house, in the Caribbean, you go out there in the islands, you buy your land, you don't gotta pay land taxes.
Exactly.
You buy the land is yours. So you go out there, you make your money here, buy your land there, have your family take care of that, you build your house, you retire, you go back home.
Yeah, you don't gotta worry about bills like that. When you overseas in J countries, the third world countries, the Caribbean, South America. Hey man, I know this Jake. He my cousin's one of my cousin's friends. Dude went to Haiti with like $100 US. He spent the whole summer there off of $100, man. Off $100 US, man. Because each dollar is 20x over there. 22x. You know, the amount each dollar. So that's like 20 times a dollar. That's like $20,000. $100. That's $2,000 in Haiti. But that's a lot. You know, you don't gotta pay you know, all these bills, man. You're paying for mortgage. You paying man, we're a billionaire. built your house, got your land, and that's that, man. Esau can't come in and put your shit in auction, man. You know? That's how you know, man, this place is just smoke and mirrors. That golden city, that golden cup that made the earth drunken. How did it make the earth drunken? By the way of the democracy.
Yes.
You know, oh yeah, we got freedom. We got freedom from oppression. The people need help. We got to give them democracy. In the name of democracy and freedom, you know, go over there and bomb them up, destroy their economy, steal all the resources. You know, the nations making trade deals with America. That's how the nations got drunken, man. Because they model themselves after Babylon. You go to China, China is more advanced than America, of course, but where you get all the concepts of all these buildings, these skyscrapers from, man? The suit and tie in China. These nations, they don't wear it. When they be in a government, they don't wear their cultural garments. They wear suits and ties, man. That shows you that this place is the golden city, man. It says, hold on, the nations have drunken of a wine, therefore the nations are mad. So now you see these nations being stirred up, man. They want to go to war with Babylon, man. They sick of it, man. Hey, Trump and his administration, they discovered how USAID is basically it's bribing other governments to accept LGBT and all that, man. To accept all that freakism, you know. So that's how you know this is Babylon. You got more on that? Yeah. Let me finish that.
It says, Jeremiah 51 verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. House for her. Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed.
Yeah, that's right. So take balm for her pain. Suddenly fallen and destroyed, man. Hey, man, Trump coming in, the stock market already lost $7 trillion. They said this man has done the worst the economy ever in history. So what, too? They can barely been in 100 days. He already done destroyed everything, man.
Yeah, Trump is that bomb for Babylon because he came in saying bomb is a healing agent.
Yeah.
So, like lip balm. So Trump came in with as that great white hope, you know, the savior. Yeah. He's gonna make America great again. Yeah. And he came in and did the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay? Which is all, let's not forget, it's all set up to bring in that whole new system. Yeah. You know, the NWO.
That's right.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That great white hope. You know, everything he was saying in his campaign. He said we're going to be winning so much. The tariffs are going to make us very rich. You're going to be winning so much, you're going to get tired of winning. You know, but he comes in and then now everybody's mourning, man. Yeah. You know? So that was that bomb that was supposed to fix it. We're going to bring back manufacturing to America. We're going to make America greater. This is the golden age. It's going to be the golden age of America. You know? But like the brother said, he did the exact opposite. Now everybody's mourning, man. There is no healing Babylon. And Trump, he knows this too. You know? He's an insider, man. They set him up to do these things, man. And him, along with his billionaire buddies, you know, basically they're enriching themselves and protecting themselves for when this shit collapses, man.
That's why the majority of Jake voted. The majority of Jake that voted for him, they voted for him because they felt that he was going to bring more jobs and more money circulating through the economy.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they do.
Even prices, he said he was going to decrease. Oh yeah, as soon as he gets in, he said egg prices going to go down. Yeah. But they constantly shot up.
Even like, you know, your typical hood Jake, you know, why they voted for Trump is because they believe that in 2020 when the pandemic happened, they believe when he come back into office there's gonna be like another flux of money. You know, free money.
Yeah.
You know, Jake is simple, bro.
Yeah.
They simple.
Yeah, that's right.
It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. You would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone, into his own country.
Yeah, that's right. So we would have healed Babylon, she's not healed. Forsake her and let us go, everyone to his own country. And through the Spirit, what's about to happen is, and it's already happening now, you got heathens leaving America. You know, because what? They seen that, hey, listen, this place ain't no better than my country. The economy is shot. The dollar's over. got all these nations that are dumping their bonds, man. The dollars, man. The dollar currency, which is causing the dollar to lose more of its value. Over, I think 11 countries already dropped the dollar. You know, they're dumping their dollar reserves. You know, so what? It's gonna cause the economy to crash. So you're gonna have countries where, you know, the economy is better than America. So you're gonna have heathens here like, yo, I'm better off going back to my land. Why am I suffering here in poverty when I could be in my country and be good? And they see that what's coming down the pipe too, as far as Trump deporting U.S. citizens and immigrants to prisons overseas. Go to Libya, I'm gonna go back to my land. So forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country.
Yep. It says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies.
That's right. That's going into what? The missiles pelting America off the face of the earth. In 1 hour, man. Missiles coming from China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, even American NATO allies, man. You know? Hey, China just tested a new weapon. It has the power of a nuclear weapon without the radiation, man. So now, basically, they're not bound by so-called international laws because, you know, it's not a nuclear bomb. So they could drop a bomb on a city in America and not expect nukes to be dropped on them because it wasn't it wasn't a nuke technically, man. You know? Was it?
This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 5. And the waters shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up.
Yeah, the Lord's going to bring droughts, you know? Yeah. The currency, the flow of money, is going to be dried up, you know?
It says, and they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up. The reeds and flags shall wither. The paper the paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brook shall wither, be driven away, and be no more.
Yeah, that's right. So, hey man, you could even apply that to the businesses.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a business, it's like you sow a seed.
Yeah.
You know, and you expecting to watch it grow.
Yeah.
You know, so guess what? All that shit gonna be dried up. Small businesses are shutting down.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they all get their cheap goods from China.
Yeah.
So those tariffs is fucking their asses up, man.
Yeah.
I seen somewhere a report that said that we might lose over 40% of businesses, man.
Yeah.
You know, within the coming weeks because of these tariffs, man.
Yeah.
You know, so no jobs, no businesses, you know, no money.
Yeah.
And the money that you have is going to be so devalued, it's going to be worthless, man.
Yeah.
That's why they're going to come in with this new currency. The stable coins that Trump is pushing the Congress to pass in August, man.
Yeah.
They're going to come with that. And you can see the lineup, man. They said this month, May, empty shelves. June, recession. July, between now and July, between 90 days, the troops will be deployed to local government police forces. And then by August, he want the stable coin to be passed. So they're expecting all hell to break loose. Martial law and the implementation of this digital currency, man.
Yeah. Also, those are the actual resources too. You know, so the businesses and the resources are going to dry up too. Because like, like you have, you know, like the Mississippi River. In certain places, it's like dealing with droughts, like getting enough rain. The river is drying up. And that's like a main source of like, you know, have like the boats and all that, ship products to, you know, different places. And it's hard for me to do that with it, you know, because the Most High is plaguing, you know, bringing them to natural plagues too. Droughts in certain areas, you know, rivers is actually drying up, resources, fish is contaminated, so Most High is, you know, bringing this place down on all levels.
Right.
Yeah.
Finish it, and then we can go to our second Ezra.
So this is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 7. The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away, and be no more. The fishers also shall mourn, and all they that cast angle into the brook shall lament, and they that spread nets upon the water shall languish.
Yeah, that's talking about, you know, all the different businesses, man. You know, it's going to be shut down. You know, they're going to mourn. Because what? There's not going to be nobody buying their goods, man. Yeah. Buying their merchandise, man. You know? You see more right now, they're mourning. You know? Their economy's crumbling under these tariffs, man. But, you know, they want to make it seem like, oh, nah, China's good. China doesn't care about them. No, them niggas is suffering, man. They already got protests and riots over there. You know, millions of jobs lost due to factories closing in China. And this is how you know America's Babylon, man. For America to put tariffs on and basically fuck up your whole economy, because what? China's economy depends on export. Export mainly to where? America. They export to the rest of the world, but America is how to get their bread and butter, man. All nations.
America's not going to consume.
Yeah.
So if you want to make that money, you got to do this in America.
Yeah.
You know, Trump, he is right. He's going to put pain on these nations, but he's going to put a lot of pain really on the American citizens.
Yeah, he spoke about it. They asked him about, what do you got to say about the empty shells? Nigga said, yeah, I heard about the empty shells. He said, yeah, I heard about the empty shells, you know. And he said, you know, hey, you know, now you will have children. Instead of having 30 dogs, now you're going to have 2 dogs. And motherfuckers on the comments raging, talking about some dogs. We talking about groceries, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, it's beautiful to watch, man. These people are losing their minds, man. You know, you got people actually leaving the country, you know, because they see what's coming down the pipe. Matter of fact, it's a report that came out that said historians are leaving America in droves. Why? Because they can see what happened in history. Have nothing new under the sun. They expect the society to collapse just like Rome. Just like these ancient kingdoms and empires, man. So they're getting up out of America, man. So, go ahead.
Revelations 18, verse 15. It says, the merchants of these things, which are made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing.
Yeah, that's right. So that's when America gets hit with these nukes, man. Because you're still going to have nations doing trade with America. You know, in that time, even though you still got the tariffs going on, you still got nations that still depend on America for trade, man. You know? So they're going to mourn because this is what their country depends upon, man.
So they know.
That's all they know.
Even now, you got ships standing off the in the ports, ready to come, wait to see how long this tariff shit gonna go.
Yeah.
So they can get right back to the money, but they're trying to hold out, you know.
Yep.
And then what's gonna happen is these stores gonna dry up because from the shipment it goes to the trucks, the trucks to the cities. That's what the brother brother name not Shimon. Yeah, yo, over there. I forget his name right now. But you always say the trucks are the veins of the city. That's right. Yeah, the trucks are the veins of the city, man, and that's true. So really, it's gonna be a domino effect from the people. You're gonna have some Jakes doing better than others, some Edomites doing better than others. But in the long run, everybody's gonna start to feel it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, let me get this piece up. Yeah.
Right, let me finish up real quick. It says, I'll read it again. It says, the merchants of these things which are made rich by her, right, that her being American, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, in purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught.
Yeah. That's right. So in 1 hour, man, these missiles that Russia and China got, they could reach America within 15 to 30 minutes, depending on where they're being shot from, man. They got hypersonic missiles, man. And Russia is not even that far from America. They're right by Alaska, man, which is pretty much America, man. You know? They got missiles in Alaska. They're doing, they're passing their nuclear bombers over Alaska, man. And the U.S. had to intercept their planes. So these nations, they're doing drills. They're popping up their sub off the coast of America, you know, because they prepping to nuke this place, man. You want to say something?
No.
Okay.
says, "For in 1 hour so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the company of ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city?"
Yeah, that's right. So they're gonna be in the oceans, like you said, they're standing still down. They're gonna look at America, smoke going up to space, man. You know, that's how you know it's gonna be so great a destruction. Because wherever these nations stand at, you know, whether it be the eastern side of the world, Asia, it don't matter where you at, you're gonna see a big puff of smoke coming in the sky, man. If you're in the east, you're gonna see it coming from the west, man. You know, if you're from on the south, you're gonna see it coming from the north. If you're in Mexico, you're gonna look in the north and see the smoke going up, man.
These nations, they gonna these nations, they gonna feel like, damn, like, you know, it's over for them because America, that's they bread and butter, man, selling their goods here. You know, that's why they complain about the tariffs now. Because they know, like, this is big business for them, man. Like, they ship goods over here, but this place is gonna be burned up, destroyed. You know.
And just to back up what y'all saying, our research, how is the U.S. tariffs are going to impact the American economy? So they got a couple points, which is heavy points. It says manufacturing and industrial sectors. So, you know, you have automotive, electronics and machinery, steel and aluminum, right? It says apparel like clothes, textiles. It says agriculture. It says U.S. farmers are facing retaliatory tariffs from trading partners, leading to the decreased exports and financial strain. Commodities like soybeans, corn, and dairy products are particularly affected. It also says healthcare and pharmaceuticals. So tariffs on medical devices and pharmaceutical ingredients have led to increased costs for healthcare providers and potential shortages of essential medicines.
Yeah, that's right. Hey man, China is responsible. They said China touches over 60% of products are touched by China. Whether it be a part that it needs, it might be manufactured in America, but certain parts that it needs come from China. So 60% of goods, some way, somehow is touched by China. So by them putting the tariffs on China, now the cost of everything is going to go up. They said insurance about to go up, the price to fix your car is about to go up, and you said medical equipment. Guess what? Over I think 80 or 90% of medicine come from China. So that means no antidepressant drugs, no anesthesia, and medical equipment, syringes, stuff that do surgery. So woman was breaking it down. She said, "Yo, because China now is stopping sending medical equipment to America, that now that is not the time to be getting injured. Because if you get into a car crash, let's say you break your arm." Instead of rebuilding it, they're going to have to amputate you because they don't have the equipment or it costs you too much to do, you know? And they said a lot of hospitals are going to shut down, man. So, hey, man, hey, go ahead. You got something to say?
No, I'll go first.
So, you know what else is going to be affected too? These damn black women, man. Weeds is going up. Weeds going up, man, you know.
That Indian here.
I'm opening up my salon and it goes to show you everything is a domino effect. And then Isaiah 32nd chapter is going to come into play.
That's right.
You know, when these women they're going to go do it. The Most High is going to all their benefits and all that. They're going to do all that shit. It's affecting them too.
The teats, you know, man, they're gonna get affected the worst, man. And you seeing them, even if Pastor Hall said it, or you see it online, like how they coming online, and they're starting to become more humble now. Now, you know, I just want a man that works, that has a job. But before it was a six-figure man. He had to be this tall. But now they see what's coming down the pipe, and they're gonna need some a man to protect them. So they starting to humble themselves. A lot of them now, I've been seeing these pages about polygamy, and black women be on there like supporting it, man. I'm like, man, that's how you know Isaiah. We in that time, man. Isaiah 4:1.
That's right.
Like I see, this YouTube sign, some chick. She was dealing with a surgeon. Dude is a surgeon, making over like $200,000. And that still didn't satisfy him. So like, a man's, he a surgeon, but you should always want to grow and do more. Like, yo, you can't make this shit up.
That's what I know.
That's why the Most High gonna humble. The Most High gonna humble these black holes.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right, man. That's right.
It says, and even to piggyback on the medicines, right? Now, when you cut off the medical supply, a lot of Jake, you know why a lot of Jake turn into drugs, like become like crackheads, dope fiends? It's because they was on medicine before, and they couldn't afford the medicine, so they end up leaning to like the drugs in the streets.
And it's addictive.
Yeah.
Like the pharmaceuticals is addictive.
Yeah.
Opium.
Yep.
Yeah, opium is addictive substance. So when you go to the hospital, let's say you in pain, and you did surgery, they give you some medicine that has opium in it. Now you turn to a straight up addict, man. You out in the street, you want that same feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and Esau knows what he's doing, man.
That's how a lot of them Edomites be getting hooked up on drugs.
Yeah. Yep.
I got one more point, and this is heavy. It says, well, two more. It says construction and materials. It says tariffs on imported construction materials, including lumber and cement, have escalated building costs, impacting housing affordability and infrastructure projects.
Yeah, that means what? Potholes ain't gonna get fixed. That means if it's a bridge that needs repairs, if it doesn't get the repairs, gonna collapse. Guess what? They can't afford to do it. You know, all that money you see Trump, he just passed another executive order to take hundreds of billions of dollars from education and other portions of government and put over $1 trillion in military, man. Another $1 trillion, man.
Yeah.
What do you think they're getting ready for? They're getting ready for war. War with China, man. You know? So, hey, as you bring it up, construction is going to cost more.
Yeah.
And not only that, China, they stopped exports on critical minerals that America needs for everything, for their technology. You can't have a car without China, man.
Yeah.
The chips that's in it, you know, different materials that only China gets. Your phones, your everything. Even the U.S. military went up to Trump and said, yo, listen, man, the bans that China's putting is going to affect the military because 98% of drones come from China.
Yeah.
All the critical minerals needed for those fighter jets, the missiles. You can't have a missile without China. And guess what? All them minerals are needed, the rare earths, China stopped exporting it to the U.S. And that shows how dumb, stupid Esau is, man. The nigga is going to do that to China, and then you plan on going to war with them? How the fuck you going to make the missiles if you don't have China on your side? How the fuck you going to make the tanks and all of that, man? That's why the Lord told America, I have laid a snare for you. You know, which that snare is going into them attacking Iran. But guess what? Iran is allies with Russia. I mean, with China. With both Russia and China. And an attack on Iran is an attack on China, man. So you about to go on war with the same people that's helping you produce all your military equipment. How stupid is that?
Yeah.
That's why Taiwan is so crucial to America. Taiwan has those chips for the cars. Now, if they lose that to China, it's game over.
Taiwan is very strategic to control China. You know, because it's like right off the coast of China, and it's like a foothold that America has where they could attack China if they want to.
It's the same reason Russia wouldn't let America take Ukraine.
Because like you right on our borders. And China right now, they told their military, we're going to war with America soon. They told the Xi Jinping, the leader, he told his army that, man. And they're doing all types of drills in the South China Sea. Esau be having his ships there. Chinese pull up and intercept the ship, like, get out of our waters, man. You know? And now the U.S. is giving more ammunition to Taiwan to go to war with China. And Taiwan is part of China, man. You know?
Taiwan might just jump ship, man. They might just jump ship. You know? Especially with all these tariffs going on. A lot of these nations that side with America might end up jumping ship. I brought out like 2 weeks ago, Japan and China started doing business together. Okay.
And South Korea too.
And South Korea.
And they all got beef.
And they all got beef. And they're on America's side, man. But now, you know, these nations started to turn.
right. See, America is the enemy, man. You know? You see that Obadiah? It says, start at 7.
Okay, kind. Sure, not good. Go down, or you just straight to the point?
As a matter of fact, start at 1 and then jump down. Jump down to the point.
Kind.
Start at 1, yeah.
It says Obadiah chapter 1, verse 1. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle.
That's right. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. That's what you see the nations doing. The scriptures, matter of fact, we're going to go into that too.
Yeah.
Where it says, beat your plowshares into swords.
Yeah.
The nations, they're focusing their budget, their GDP on military. Mm-hmm. Now, China spends as much money as the U.S. spends on this military, on their education of their people. That's a big country, man. 1.5 billion people. So now imagine they take all that investment and put it straight up into military, man. Do you know how lethal China is going to be to America, man? Hey, man, they said China can build more ships in a month than America can build in a year. And one shipbuilding American factory can build more ships than an American company can build in a year, man. They could do that within the span of 2 weeks, man. That's how bad America doesn't have any factories, man. So imagine China taking all those factories and turning them into weapon-making factories, pumping out missiles, pumping out drones, pumping out ships. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen, man. And they're gonna help Russia and Iran and those other nations to be against America. China right now, they're doing strategic partnerships with countries that's allies with America and also that's against America. China's backing the Houthis. You know, China now is doing military drills with Egypt and Lebanon.
Yeah.
You know, so that's all chess moves being made, man. You know, world war is chess, man. Yeah. And it's the Most High literally playing with all the pawns by himself, man. What you got?
I got it to back you up. It says top countries by military spending. It says the United States, number 1, with its estimated military budget of $877 billion. It says the notes.
Now it's $2 trillion now.
Yeah.
With that new budget, it's gonna go up to $2 trillion.
Yep.
You know, and they always, it says that's the budget, but they always go over the budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's why before 9/11, it was $2 trillion missing from the Pentagon, which is why they did 9/11, because it was an investigation and all that. And the areas in the Pentagon that had all the documents got destroyed, so-called by the planes.
Yep.
You know, so it's gonna go over budget, but yeah, go ahead.
Yep, and it says, here's the notes for it. It says accounts for 39% of global military spending, invests in global operations, nuclear arsenal, and tech. Now, the number 2 country, right, like the brother mentioned, is China. It says China, their military budget is an estimate. It says approximately $292 billion or more.
Come on, man.
Now, backing up what the brother's saying, because the brother's just not freestyling these things. You know, we don't come out here freestyling. You know, brothers actually, you know, go into articles and do the research. And I'm just proving this brother's point. It says the notes, rapidly modernizing, especially in naval power, cyber warfare, and missiles.
Yeah, that's China.
Yep.
You know, China actually has the biggest navy in the world, bigger than America. Pete Hegseth, he just came out 2 weeks ago and said, yo, they did what's it called? Not military drills, simulations. They did multiple simulations of what the outcome would be with China, and China always wins. He said that China could destroy the U.S. Navy and the aircraft carriers within 20 minutes with the hypersonic missiles, man. You know, they have a big naval force and missiles, man. America can't even produce military equipment like they should, man.
Yeah.
They got contractors, Lockheed Martin, and all that. You know, whereas with these other countries, China, Russia, their military complex is backed by the state. It's state funded. You know, so China now is gonna put all that money towards producing these things, man. These missiles, you know, in America, those companies that they hire, they're never on time.
Yeah.
So let's say this year we need 500 missiles, or we was only able to come up with 250 or 300. You know?
That's because America got soft.
Yeah.
You know, after they won this freedom, you know, really got soft.
Yeah.
After the World War I, II dropped them bombs.
Yeah.
America got soft, and it was a lion in the jungle.
Yeah.
So a lion in the jungle don't gotta check his back, sleep wherever he want to sleep. No animal's gonna attack.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, these other nations, they hungry, man.
Yeah. They've been quiet.
Yeah, they've been building.
Yeah.
China been building strategically.
Yeah, for 30 years.
Yeah, military,
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah.
Oh, they around the world. They in Africa right
Yeah.
now,
Africa, South America.
taking up resources
Yeah.
and also making treaties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so China is a powerful and a deadly
Yeah.
enemy, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
That's
sir.
right.
And we
That's right. You know, real quick, if I can say too, America got complacent. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
it's like a boxer, a fighter. He always wins. He don't train for his next fight.
Right.
You know, he might be finding a hungry cat coming up.
There you go.
You know what I mean? He don't train for that fight because he already got, you know, he might, like Floyd, 50 and 0, and then he go fight a young boy that's hungry, that's fighting for that top spot. And guess what? Nigga ain't trained, and guess what? He get taken out.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening to America.
Yeah.
Don't you know, Russia and China, that's critical to them because in their minds, they know America's trying to destroy them. So now they said this year alone, Russia is tripling their military production, where they're gonna produce over 3,000 missiles
Yeah.
just this year alone, man.
Yeah.
And they got Ukraine shook and NATO, man.
Yeah.
Because NATO, they keep poking at the bear, sending troops to Ukraine to help fight. You know what? Russia basically is warning them. And now America made a mineral deal with Ukraine. So for Ukraine to give them those minerals, and America's gonna back them up with military equipment. So Russia's furious now and basically say, yo, we're gonna have to go to war.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, you got some more?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Just real quick, just to finish the point. It says China, they go into their research and development. They emphasize on developing indigenous technologies, including stealth aircraft and space assets. And then it says, note, detailed breakdowns are limited due to the opacity of China's defense reporting. So this is only what they want us to know.
Yeah.
You know?
They got some shit, man.
This is Isaiah 47:1.
That's the spirit.
It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans."
That's right. There's no throne. That American hegemony is done, man. This ain't the 90s. This ain't the 40s, man. America's not big bad America on the block anymore. And the proof is, America can't even take out the Houthis. They find the Houthis spent over $1 billion and they still haven't accomplished nothing, man.
Yeah.
Just the other day, they lost an $80 million aircraft avoiding a Houthi missile. But I thought there was just some niggas in sandals that don't got no capability that you was just gonna crush, man. You know? But now you're having to avoid, dodge their missiles, losing planes. But guess what? That's a stain on America's reputation. Because now these nations see blood. Because if you can't even fight the Houthis, what makes you think you can fight Iran? What makes you think you can take on China and Russia all at the same time and the rest of the world? That's why the scriptures say the pride of your heart deceived you, man.
They lost to the Taliban's over there.
Yeah.
What's that? Iran, Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They lost them goddamn Afghanistan. Man.
Yeah.
They had to run out of there, man.
Yeah.
And that was a stain.
Yeah.
You know, even
right.
even going back to Vietnam, they lost that.
Yeah.
Okay, so America been taking L's. They've been on the decline.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hey, they say the average kingdom is that lasts is like what, approximately 250, and America is like around that time span. So
249.
you know, and through the spirit, man, we see it. America's falling, you know, day by day. You know, saying your time is almost up.
Real quick. Is that real quick? Isaiah 14:10 says, "All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we, thou become like unto us.
That's right. So the nations, they see America is not as strong anymore. Because back then, you know, they had all the naval power. The nations didn't have money like that, man, to spend all the technology to do it. But now we're in a time where the Most High advanced these nations, man, to where they got the same shit that Esau got. China got aircraft carriers now. At one point, it was only America with aircraft carriers, man.
Yeah.
China and all these different nations, they getting their hands on that. Nations now got nuclear missiles. They got different types of weaponry. Even surpassing America now, man. You know, because America, shit, what Esau did is, he spent all those trillions of dollars on equipment that is now outdated. The aircraft carriers was built, what, 60s, 70s? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, shit is outdated, man. You know? Shit is always need repairs, shit always breaking down. You know? and when Esau shit go out of commission, they fixing it, and it be going out for years.
Yeah.
If they're doing repairs on the aircraft carrier, it might take 2-3 years before it's back in service.
Yeah.
So, you know, these nations, even if they don't got as much as Esau got, they'll spend little money on asymmetric warfare.
Yeah.
They'll spend money on drones, like Iran is doing. Drone speedboats that might cost a few thousand to a few million, and they're doing millions of damages to Esau's ships, man. You know, if you got a speedboat that's autonomous speedboat that attack an aircraft carrier, that's hundreds of millions of dollars in repairs, man. You know? So Esau gonna burn through that money trying to fight the whole world, man, which is gonna collapse the economy even more, man. You got more?
Yes, no more. It says, it says, take millstone to word again, right? It says, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Yeah, the nations don't see you as this, you know, at one point everybody looked up to America as the seat of morality. You know, how America's always bringing freedom, freeing the countries. You know, people bought into that propaganda, but now they're seeing America's exposed. Oh, hold on. All those rebels and all of that, y'all was doing what's fun in there. CIA was doing backing them. The military was doing giving them all those equipment, plotting, you know, cause coups d'etats and all that. You know, create wars.
Playing both sides, yeah.
Yeah, playing both sides. You know, and using countries that they're allies with after using them, taking them down. Like Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein, Iran. At one point they were cool with America, man. America used them and then took their asses down, man. Demonized them.
That's why South Korea and North Korea at war to this day.
Yeah.
Because of America.
Yeah. Divide and conquer, man. That's the MO of the super white man.
That's why this says right here. It says, take millstone and grind mill. Uncover thy locks. Yeah. Make bare the leg. Uncover the thigh. Pass over the river.
Yeah, that's right. Because in ancient times, women was covered up, you know, from head to toe. You know, so they cover the locks, man. You know, cover, you know, your hair's supposed to be the glory of a man. You know, it's a woman's glory, but a woman is the glory of a man. You know, so America's glory is being exposed.
Yes.
And it's,
I may add on too. It said, you show a number called tender and delicate, like you are now.
Yeah.
Like a woman is tender and delicate. Like she sit on, she sit.
Yeah.
She won't sit on she don't touch the floor of her feet.
Yeah.
That's how America was. But now America's gonna be grinding mill.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in a working state.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the spirit.
You're gonna be turned to a slave, man.
Yeah.
That's right.
Pretty much America's gonna, like that America that tended woman, but now she's gonna go through hardship.
Yeah.
Yep. She's gonna sweat now. She's gonna make her sweat, you know.
These people here, they're not used to. They're not used to like shit that they gotta go through in third world countries and shit like that. And goddamn, finding dogs on the street. Dogs These people, they, you know, they always got Whole Foods and this and that. But that's why when them plagues come, they're gonna experience all the hardship that nations go through. They're gonna like that woman that's not like Babylon. That woman that's not touched yet. Yeah. So America's gonna be touched, man. America's gonna go through the worst of the war, man. Worse than any of these nations have ever been through.
Yeah, that's right.
Throughout history. America is going to go through some real hard shit.
That's right. That's right.
Right. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
That's right. So your nakedness is being covered. You know, you're being exposed for all the lies, all the deceit that you've done all over the world. You know, and Yahushua is not going to meet you as a man. Meaning what? He's coming in a fathership. The UFO that's going to take out America off the face of the earth, along with the missiles. So with that, we're going to close out and give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Echakadash.
double honors and apostles of GMS to give us his truth. And salutations to all your commission this word. Shalom.
Shalom.